when I moved back from LA, my first venture into making music as the face of it, I was in a rock band. I started a rock band. That was my first. I went from in LA producing R&B, hip hop stuff for artists, and I was like, if I want to do it, I want to do it. That's more of my personality. So I started making rock music first. You know, that's where that sensibility comes from. And it's funny, when I first got introduced to Rich Ardeen through a mutual friend, I was more in that lane. So she, like, I fuck with her heavy because she understands the full journey, the full arc of it. You know, so like, let's talk the first project, F.K.A. Bxhxld. That's a project of older songs from 2016 and 2017. My stage name was Bxhxld, Bxhxld, because that was the name of the band that that I had at the time. And I don't know, I got a lot of good support in that era when I was going by that name. And I made the change to my real name in 2019 because I did this show with So Far Sounds. You know So Far Sounds? I did this show with them and it went really well. And after the event, these two girls came up to me and they were like, "We love your music, but how do you spell your name? How do you say it?" Like, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. It just made me think about how many times people probably heard my music and didn't go further into it because they didn't know how to say it. They didn't know how to, you know? And I was like, there's no need for me to create that barrier. That's unnecessary. Like, it's a cool name or whatever, but it's unnecessary. So to answer the entrance in the first part in summation is, I started off coming from the rock world. So the way that bleeds into everything else is like, I just try to incorporate not necessarily the instrumentation or any of the cliche things like the yelling and, you know, none of that stuff. It's just the approach, the vibe to it. Like, I want everything to be left of center as much as possible. Because look, there's one thing I know, like I said before, about, I understand that talent is not the determining factor. It helps. You know, if you sing like Adele, well, you got a better chance than if you don't sing like Adele, you know? But I understand that the world is full of talents. I'm not the most talented person. You know what I mean? Like, there is no most talented person. I think there's a group of people at the top and then, you know, the rest of the tiers. But I just try to make a bunch of music that doesn't have the easiest entry point. Because I think that, yes, it could make the whole process a little bit more difficult, but whoever takes that second step into my world, they're there. They're there for the full ride. So that's why I appreciate the fact that you listen to everything and you have favorite songs and stuff like that, because you took that second step. You know what I mean? And that's my whole outlook, and that's my whole process. And that it goes back into the first thing we were talking about with the change of pace in 2020. I was already doing things differently in 2018 and 2019, so it doesn't change anything, man. It's I don't know, it just keeps going, man. And the funny thing about that project, F.K.A. Bxhxld, everything stopping in 2020 allowed me to go back into my old catalog and pick and choose songs from that era that I liked. And I'm like, these songs still matter in 2020. Let me put it back out. Let me reintroduce them to people. And I have a bunch more like that. Like, because I understand that, like, yes, because talent is not the determining factor. You know what are some of the factors I think that matters? Consistency. Knowing, not simply knowing who your audience is at the moment, but knowing who you want it to be in the future. That's why I said, like, for instance, like the intro to my last album, Bitch, I'm Cute, is like this rap song with like this crazy West Coast kind of bounce. I know that people are going to press play on that and never listen to anything else. I know that because that might not be what they were expecting. But I also know that whoever goes to track 2 and then track 3, they are my fans for the rest of my life. Because they're gonna be the ones that's like, yo, this dude is on some other shit. Like,